Guys, please make sure to stay until the end. We will share 5 common mistakes to avoid during an oil change that can cost you thousands of dollars in future repair. Hey guys, welcome back to World Mechanics. Super quick, very helpful video for any of you having a Dodge Challenger, that generation guys, here from year 2014 to year 2025. If you guys want to see how to do an oil change, we'll do that step by step today, and we'll talk about 5 common mistakes people make that can actually destroy your engine and cost you thousands of dollars in repair. So let's start on it now. So guys, here we have that Dodge Challenger, or specifically it's a 2017 year model Dodge Challenger right here. And for the oil change we need to first go ahead and open the hood, guys, okay? So let me see here if we have enough room, okay? Make sure we don't hit it with the garage door, right? Now, things that we need to talk about now. Let's explain, okay? Let me turn the light on. This is the oil filter cap, right? So we're going to remove that one so the oil can not have any vacuum. Look on the inside, make sure you don't have any white sludge buildup if you have a lot of it. Okay, now if you drove the car a short distance for the last month, let's say for less than 5 minutes, you started it and turn it off, turn it off, it could be normal. But if you have a lot of white sludge buildup on the cap, it could be indicator of a bad PCV valve. We have the video on the channel about symptoms of bad PCV valve as well. Now, that's, guys, okay, where the fuel plug is. That's where your oil filter is located right here. So what we're going to do first, we're going to remove the oil filter. That way everything can drain underneath. So we're going to start with the filter here. We're going to find the socket. Probably it's like a 24 here. And there are 2 things that you can do. Drain the oil when the engine is hot, which will drain faster, okay? But the downside is oil could be extremely hot and it can burn you. And the exhaust climbing under the car could be extremely hot as well. If you don't feel comfortable, let it sit overnight, do it next morning on cold engine. You just need to let it drain for a little bit longer time because the cold oil is thicker oil. Now, here guys, okay, we're going to go ahead, okay, and remove that filter, because when you do that, that extra oil from the filter housing is going to drain back in the oil pan. So that's what we're doing now. Always use gloves, eye protection as well, guys. Okay, working on it now. Okay, let's go ahead, get ready. Here you might drip some oil. Okay, when we lift it up, check this thing out. Okay, we're going to let it drip. Okay, we let it sit overnight, so the oil filter housing is empty, which is a good thing as well. We see that we don't drip oil absolutely everywhere as well. Now, make sure you don't drop anything here. If you do and you don't see it, it may go in the oil pump and you may practically destroy your engine. So we're going to go ahead and replace the filter now. So I see the new filter. It comes with a cap, with a ring right here, O-ring, that will need to be replaced as well. We'll put links in the description of the video below where you can buy filters, okay, where you can buy engine oil at a really good price. We're using the Castro Edge 20,000 mile protection. We still don't go ever over 10,000 miles, but okay, this is amazing oil, and you can see the specification. It meets the Chrysler specification here. That's for Dodge, because Dodge is built by Chrysler Corporation. Stellantis right here. So amazing oil, guys. So we're going to go ahead, okay, remove that O-ring, remembering which canal it was. We're going to put the new one in. Okay, new one will be kind of like tighter, more flexible. The old one, watch, it turns more like kind of like plasticky looking because all that heat that it was exposed to affects it, guys. So perfect. We're going to apply a little bit of oil on the ring so it can close correctly, and we're going to get the new filter. Just push it in. Okay, see, it comes with new O-ring on the bottom as well. Okay, make sure it goes all the way in. Okay, like that. So guys, the filter now, okay, we're going to go ahead and install it. Okay, make sure you don't over tighten that thing. Okay, the torque specs will be on the cap on most engines, but once, okay, it stops going, you need to make sure you don't have any gap between the filter housing and the cap. Okay, you need to make sure it closes all the way, but make sure you don't over tighten it because it's a plastic cap and you can crack it as well. That's why we apply a little bit of oil to the O-ring so it can slide easily. Okay, perfect, like that. Okay, we don't have any gap between the oil filter housing and the plastic cap on top. We're here done now on top for now. We're going to climb underneath. Now we need to go ahead and remove the engine splash shield on that Dodge, guys. And how we do that? Well, it'll take a little bit of work, you will see. But okay, that splash shield now will need to come off. We, by the way, replace sway bar links, control arms, quite a few things. Even though it has 69,000 miles, so yeah, they do need some work, guys, but they're nice vehicles and easy to work on. So all these videos will be on the channel. Okay, we completely swapped one front end from another one. We did the interior work, dashes, airbags. We have videos about every single fuse in that car and relays, videos that can save you thousands of dollars in repairs, guys. Okay, cover is out. Now, what do we need to do here? Okay, the oil drain port, guys. Okay, let us show you where it is. Okay, right there. I'm going to come right here in an angle like that. Perfect. Now here, okay, if you use a jack, you need to jack it on the passenger side because the drain plug is on the driver's side. Okay, so you gotta make sure that way that it drains completely. Okay, because the plug will be, okay, I'll show you on the driver's side. Okay, right there. That's your oil drain plug. That we need to go ahead and remove now. So 13mm, guys, socket for the drain plug. Now, if again, eye protection gloves. If it's hot, careful not to burn you. Engine oil could be extremely hot, guys. Okay, whoever tightened that thing, it's way too much. Let me get a bigger tool, right? If one tool doesn't do it, you just need a bigger one. So we'll get a torque wrench. It has a bigger arm, which means more leverage. So it shouldn't be a problem this time. Okay, let's see that now. Way too tight. Okay, so ours is cold again, but use gloves, guys, and eye protection. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, let it drain now. Okay, perfect, and it'll probably take leave it for 5-10 minutes to completely drain everything. Again, if you're using a jack stand, you need to lift it on the passenger side instead of the driver's side so we can drain it good. So it's been a while, guys, barely dripping now. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, okay, close it now and tighten it. Okay, we're going to use the little ratchet, not the big one, because we don't want to over tighten that thing, right? Somebody got it too tight last time. Could have been us too, I don't remember. Okay, I think it was us that did the oil change before, yep. So, perfect. Okay, now, filter's been replaced, oil drained. Common mistakes people make. First, okay, they can drop something in your filter housing that can destroy it. Second, forget to tighten the oil drain plug. You lose your oil and you destroy the engine. Third, using the wrong type of oil, it needs to meet the Chrysler specification. It needs to be 5W20. Depending on the climate, you may even go with different kind of oil, but it needs to meet the Chrysler specification. Fourth, not adding the correct amount of oil. If you add too much or too little, that can destroy the engine as well, guys. And number 5, believe it or not, people forget that cap to put it on quite often. Okay, we've seen that happen as well. So we're there now, just installing the splash shield. And while we're doing that, okay, we're going to go ahead, get the funnel here ready. Again, we'll be using that Castro 5W20 right here. Okay, that we have. So really good oil again, guys. We love that thing. Keeps the engines really clean, by the way. So okay, going to go ahead, open this thing. It's okay, it's stuck a little bit here. Okay, it's keeping it needs to break the seal right here. Okay, that's what it's trying to do because it's sealed pretty good. Okay, perfect. And now, okay, this one, make sure you pull it good, okay, so it doesn't drip, because otherwise it's going to drip when you apply the oil. So, holding the funnel now, and the capacity, it says 6 quarts, about 5.7 liters, okay, that we will need to add on that Dodge Challenger, guys, 5.7 liters. This bottle is 5 quarts, so we need to add just 1 more quart after that. So just adding 1 quart, guys, now, okay, 1 quart, so a little bit less than 1 liter, a little bit more, okay. Okay, perfect. Now, okay, right on the spot. One, well, a little bit more. That's the cord side, right here. So a little bit more. Okay, that's perfect. Now, okay, next thing, what do we guys need to do? We're going to go ahead, close the cap, right? Our car is leveled because it's on the lift, which is perfectly level. But we'll recommend to let it off the jack stands. Everything else, check your oil level before you start it. Make sure you tighten the oil drain plug, added oil, tighten the oil filter. Okay, you put the cap and check the oil level next. So we put a dipstick now, okay? And it will not be an accurate reading. So what do we guys need to do? Okay, just above the full. We need to wipe it and read it again. I'm trying to focus here. It's almost impossible to focus. Okay, right there. You see right above the full. Let's wipe it. Okay, and go one more time. That's because the oil filter housing is empty now. Okay, it's completely empty still. So now we're going to go ahead. You see it's right above the full. Okay, so what do we need to do next? Make sure the car is completely leveled, open the garage door, make sure you never start it on closed garage door because you can die. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and start the car. So we're inside the vehicle, guys. Again, make sure it's level ground, open garage. We're going to start it. Make sure you don't get any red oil pressure lights on. If you do and it stays more than 2 seconds, you have a problem, you need to turn the car off. If it stays more than 5 seconds, that means the car is not getting oil pressure, okay, and it could be catastrophic. Ours is fine, okay. You see, we'll let it run for about 30 seconds. Okay, make sure your oil cycles through the engine, everything goes good. And what we're going to do now, we're going to go ahead and turn it off. When you turn it off, let it sit for about, okay, 5 minutes and check the oil reading after that. So it's been about 5 minutes. We'll put the dipstick, guys, wipe it, okay, because it got splashed, so we need to get an accurate reading. Go ahead, okay, and get a reading now. Let's see what we have. Okay, we're right between the two. You can see minimum and maximum, so we're good. You can add maybe third of a cord will be enough, but we might need to turn the dipstick if it doesn't want to go in. Just turn it a few degrees and that should fix it, guys. So hopefully, guys, the video will be helpful. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to let us know. Thank you guys for watching and see you guys next time.